So it doesn't take long if you do it properly.
So if you're in trouble, expanding is not the right way to go.
Right, exactly.
Let's get more overhead.
Right,
No.
and that's what business development is about.
Hi everybody, I'm Neil Winteregg with Matterhorn Business Development. This is my co-host, Dr. Greg Winteregg, author, dentist. You'll find his book, Fun at Work, down below. Be sure you pick that up. There's also a free sample down there. But welcome to the channel. We do 3 videos a week talking about selling, profit first, making money, ranting occasionally, different things of that nature. Today, we are going to talk about when to expand your business. This is a question that we get all the time. It's something that people do wrong all the time. So we wanted to give you our thoughts on this and kind of go over some of the do's and don'ts about expansion.
So I want to start off with a don't.
A don't.
Don't build it.
There's actually very few do's. There's actually very few do's. It's mainly don'ts.
Well, here's what happened. So in 1987, I'd been in my practice for 6 years. The space was too small and the practice wasn't really growing. And the landlord of the strip mall said, well, I'll add on. I'm like, well, that sounds great. So I go from 3 treatment rooms to 5 treatment rooms and I'm gonna build it and they will come.
Yeah.
And so I built it and they didn't come. And then this associate came around who from the area, he graduated from dental school. And so I hired him. We opened evenings, we opened Saturdays, and I lost my ass. I took on $70,000 worth of debt, which in today's dollars would probably be $150,000 or $200,000 worth of debt.
Probably.
And I was giving him my production just to keep him busy because I had him on the payroll.
Right.
So I have made this mistake and it is huge. So the proper way to do it, which I have since changed my ways, is build it, build it, build it, bust at the seams. And if you get a big contract that you think is going to be like, now we're going to move into the big warehouse, rent a warehouse for the 3 to 6 months, fulfill that contract, make sure that you really do have a trend and not just a one-off expansion, big paycheck, and then you turn around with added overhead. I've experienced this. It is so stressful. It is so painful, and it is so not profitable.
Everybody wants to make more money with their business, but the size of your facility or what you can do in that facility really doesn't dictate how much money you're going to make.
Right.
If you say, oh, well, I'm going to buy this piece of equipment because I have this one customer that I could use it for, and then I can sell more people on it. Well, unless you sell other people on it, it's pointless to have.
Well, and also the disaster here is if you sign some sort of a 2, 3, 5 year lease and you lose your one customer, you are in deep doo-doo.
Yeah.
It's going to be so stressful. So expand, and then hire independent contractors and keep expanding until you know that this is an actual trend.
When you come into your office one day and there's like folding chairs and folding tables in the hallway and people writing notes on their knee, that's when you need more staff, or that's when you need more space. You don't buy a bigger space with extra space and then hire people to go into it.
I went into one of my clients' offices and this guy, he went from like $50,000 a month to $250,000 a month in like 18 months. And I went and visited him just to see how in the world he was doing it. The hygiene appointment secretary was working on a TV tray with a telephone that took up most of the TV tray. And she was so happy, on a folding chair, just like you're talking about. And then this place ended up just like doubling and doubling. So you have to be smart when you expand. And it is so tempting because you get the big job, you're like, oh, we need this. We now have money to buy that extra piece of equipment.
Bigger space.
New
desks and computers.
That one contract
ends.
Yeah, it ends, and you think, oh, then I can go out and get all this other business. While you're delivering on that contract, you don't have time to get more business. Then you lose that contract, and now you have time, and now you're not getting the extra business, and your overhead just went from here to here. So it's exciting, to be expanding and taking on space and sign the lease and get the equipment and add more staff. It's like, whoa, we're really kicking it.
But the demand has to be there first.
Yes.
If you try and I see people all the time with, one successful business, one great business, and then they go, I need a second location. Because
Right.
if I'm making this much with one, I'll make double with two.
Yeah.
Then you have two, then you have three, then you have four. And all of a sudden, I meet people who make more money with one office than they did when they had 5 locations.
Yep.
But now they're working 5 times as hard,
Yep.
with 5 times the amount of liability,
Yeah.
with 5 times the amount of debt and overhead. It
5
doesn't make
times the
any
amount of
sense.
staff and problems and
You have to be able to grow into it.
Yeah.
So
So be sure that don't get stuck on the idea, build it and they will come.
Right.
Build it, build it, build it, and then expand. Build it, build it, build
Yeah.
it. Do not expand and expect them to come. That's just not how
a
it
good
works.
example is somebody that we have, a client, I'm not going to mention names or too many details, but he had, let's say, one truck, right? And this truck was going out and making a certain amount of money, and it required 2 people to use this truck and do the services. And he wanted a second truck. And we started doing the math, and the people with the current truck were making more money than the owner was.
Right.
But the owner's like, I'm going to get another truck. And it's like, okay, how much does it cost to buy a truck? How much equipment does it take? How are you going to hire 2 more people? What happens when one of those people doesn't show up? And we started doing the math, and getting a second truck was going to lose him more money
Right.
than he already had.
Right.
So why get a second truck? Well, it's like, oh, well, I have to have another one. But is that really the right thing?
Right.
So what did we do? We reorganized the systems with the first truck, and now it's making more money.
And actually upgraded the services at the high end. And
Yeah.
took some of the low end customers and asked them to find services somewhere else. And now the profit is through the roof. 6 weeks. That's all it took. 6 weeks to flip
weeks.
this around. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take long if you do it properly.
So if you're in trouble, expanding is not the right way to go.
Right, exactly.
Let's get more overhead.
Right.
No,
And that's what business development is about. You have
Yeah.
to have the right ideas, the right rules to follow. So that's what we do here at Matterhorn Business Development.
Yeah. So I hope this helps a little bit. As far as dues, we didn't really go into the. Well, I guess we kind of covered.
Yeah,
it.
is build it, build it, build it. When you're busting at the seams and you need to hire some people, lease some staff,
Yeah.
rent a piece of equipment. And like you said, once there's folding chairs in the hallway and people are standing on top of each other, then get some more space.
Yeah.
Once you've rented the equipment for 3 to 6 months, and now you don't have just one job, you have 3, 4, 5 jobs, and then you got to rent more equipment. Okay, well then you can buy.
When you're
So-
paying your staff to leave your product in their garage because you're out
Right.
of space,
Right.
now it's time to get a bigger space.
Yeah, so push it to the edge, and
Yeah.
don't worry about the image and it's unprofessional to have folding chairs and the hallway and
Temporarily, it's fine.
yeah, temporarily while
It's
you're
not like you have
expanding.
to go out and buy $1,000 chairs.
Yeah,
'cause you,
when we were expanding the management company out of our space, we rented another space in the building
same
next
building.
door.
Yeah.
You just walk across the sidewalk, and it was inconvenient for 6 or 9 months, and then we got a building, and then etc. So,
Right.
so just expand, push the edges.
Yeah.
But
a
don't,
bigger space does not mean you make
right.
more money.
More equipment does not mean you make
More
more
equipment
money.
doesn't mean now we make
Yeah.
more.
Higher overhead oftentimes is just higher stress.
Yes. So take your time on it. Don't be afraid to move a little bit slower. If you don't know where to go, contact us. We'll
Yeah,
help you.
absolutely.
But these are just a couple of general tips that we find people make a lot of mistakes on and we get asked about.
Yeah, and by my book, I laid out my mistakes, the errors that I made, but also the good way that I did it. And
Yeah.
so that book, Fun at Work, is pretty much an autobiography of my business life. I
you
haven't
go.
done it all right. That's where the gray hair comes from.
That's right. So buy the book, Fun at Work, and have fun every day at what you do, and we'll see you next week.